Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 366. I know there's usually only 365 days in a year, but this year's a leap year, so we get a bonus day for this year's challenge. And today we are going to do some questions and answered. I collected a bunch of questions yesterday from people and shot up some answers, wrote them up. It's in Guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. I picked the top 20 and shared people's stories about that. I'm going to read a couple of them here. I'm not going to read all 20 because you can read. I want you to go check out and see if your biggest question about growth and personal development and personal growth has been answered. And if it has not, for some reason, if you've got something else that's just bothering you still, or you have a question about, ask. Please just ask. You can direct message me. You can write in the comments below, and I will answer that question for you. I want to make sure that you get your questions answered so that you can head into 2025 in a better position than you headed into 2024, right? That's always our goal, is to be continually improving and growing and becoming a better version of ourselves. So let's look at a couple of these questions. Again, I'm not going to read all 20. I wrote them all down, captured them in like a couple sentences, but I have to try to read my writing as well. So number one, Emily, recent college grad. Her question is, how do I begin my personal growth journey? Where do I even start? And I recommend that you start with self-reflection. Think about your strengths, your improvement areas, your things that people have given you feedback on that they don't think is so great. And you get to decide whether you want to work on those things or not, or improve those things, or choose to just build on your strengths and minimize your supposed weaknesses, because we're all a conglomeration of strengths, weaknesses, experiences, core values, thoughts, and beliefs. And if we make choices in alignment with our core values and the things that give us passion, we'll know what to work on next. And we have to remember that we only have to work on one thing at a time, or do the next right thing, as I think it was Anna in Frozen 2 says. We just have to do the next right thing. So that would be a quick answer to that. But start small, but do something. Start by journaling, reflecting. I highly recommend a gratitude journal. Meditating, just spending some quiet time in nature, thinking about what's important to you, and that will help you to know what's your next learning opportunity. If we embrace the beliefs that we are lifelong learners and we're here to continually improve ourselves for the rest of our life, we have a much different perspective than if we feel like we have to do some personal development thing to get an advancement in our career, or to for whatever reason your why is. Second, how can I overcome fear of failure? This is Mark. He's an entrepreneur. And like so many entrepreneurs and so many people that strike out on their own, there's that niggling of fear in the back of our mind, wondering, well, what if this doesn't work out? What are we going to do? And one of the things I recommend that we always do is, and it's kind of counterintuitive, but it works for me, is I always consider what's the worst that can happen. And if I know that if the worst that can happen were to happen and that I can handle it because I'm capable and confident of handling no matter what life dishes out, then I know that I don't have anything to be afraid of. I also have learned to embrace fear as a stepping stone and as a test of, am I serious about this thing I say I want to do or not? Am I serious about being an entrepreneur? Am I willing to put in the effort and the work, overcome the challenges that will inevitably come up in order to succeed and create the life that I want? And failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of success. If you study anyone or follow anyone or pay attention to what they really do versus what you see in social media, you'll realize that everyone who ever succeeds at anything has failed a whole lot more times than they've ever succeeded. You just see the final version of what it is that they're doing and putting out into the world. You don't see the thousands or tens of thousands of hours and trial and error activities that they've performed up to the point where you notice them. 3, what habits should I build for long-term success? This is Priya, who's a busy working mom. And she's like, okay, I need to create some habits to make my life work as a busy mom and business woman. So I say, and I say, pick the things that you can automate or make habits quickly and easily, the things that will give you the big impact for the little habit that you form. Morning routines, to me, are one of those things. If we start our morning off in certain ways that are right for us, it sets the tone for the entire rest of the day. This is true of things like having a gratitude journal too. There are things that we can do, little things that we can do every day or a couple of times a week that become habits and have an incredibly positive impact on our results, on our mindset, on our level of success, etc. How can I maintain momentum over time? This is from Liam, a fitness enthusiast. And he says motivation for what's important, and how can he keep going in the times when he doesn't really necessarily feel like going and working out? Well, whenever I'm in that position, I revisit the why exercise, either 5 whys or 7 whys, and I revisit my why. Why do I want to do this thing? Why do I want this goal and objective? And that always re-energizes and motivates me. 5, how can I cultivate a growth mindset? This is Sophia, a high school teacher, wants to know how she can continue to have a growth mindset for herself and her students. And my advice for her is to realize that effort is the path to mastery. So practicing things over and over again, using flip switch to flip from negative to positive, from pessimistic to optimistic, from dark to light. That's one of my favorite tools, is just imagine myself flipping a switch. When I catch myself thinking something negative, I flip the switch and I turn on the light and I think something positive. It's a simple visualization, but it's extremely effective. I encourage you to try it out if you have not thus far. And I'm going to leave it at that. 5 questions. That's enough. There are another 15 people's stories in Guide 2. Check it out. Make sure your question, your biggest growth question, is answered. And if it is not, please, please, please share it in the comments below or direct message me so I can make sure you get your question answered. Thanks for joining me this year. It's been a very profound and growth-oriented year. I will launch next year's challenge tomorrow morning when I think of what it's going to be. I'm open to suggestions. I have a couple of ideas, but I usually wait till the very last minute to decide. And so that'll be my reflection of the last day of 2024 as I determine what we're going to do for 2025. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with a new challenge. Have an awesome day and a happy new year.